said it's on another level. You've said it's by far the best for the office. It's called the ONO Roller, and they just came out with a new one called the ONO Jr. Launching on Kickstarter is the smaller version of the original ONO Roller. They've made some other updates as well, and later we'll see if they implemented any of my suggestions. The original mimics fidgeting with highlighters in your hands, which I catch myself doing all the time, but it's slightly larger, making it a little awkward for people with smaller hands. The ONO Jr. solves this with each of these rollers being the same diameter as the highlighters I have in my hand, making it an even closer match.
Other than the size difference, there are a few other changes.
First is the color, and it now comes in black, teal, purple, or orange. The second is pretty obvious. It weighs less, quite a bit less. So if you plan to take it with you, it is smaller, lighter, and more portable. Third is the roller material, and more importantly, the feel of that roller material. Previously, they used a bead blasted metal, which does have a nice matte feel to it, and they moved to a soft plastic. Now, my first thought was this is gonna feel really chintzy and cheap, but it's not slick. It has kind of a matte, soft finish that has a really good feel to it, and it feels substantial still in your hand as you hold it, so they did a great job with this. The other thing I noticed is when you first pick them up, the metal does take a moment to neutralize to your body's temperature, whereas the plastic feels like that temperature instantly. Switching from metal to plastic, it doesn't quite have that look that the original one had, but I still think it'd look fine on a desk in a professional setting. Other than my suggestion to make a smaller version for people with smaller hands, on the flip side with people with larger hands that rub on the end caps, I did suggest rounding this over and getting rid of the corners. And they did this perfectly, which is great because the smaller version, more people's hands will be touching these end caps. And they completely rounded it over, and whenever I use this, I don't feel an edge whatsoever. Great job. Important for all fidget and desk toys, the ONO Jr. is just like the original, completely silent. My wife has smaller hands than me, and I had her try out both of them, and she instantly said, way better for the Junior because of the size and the texture. She really liked it. When I let my kids try it, they all like the Juniors due to the size and the feel, but one of them equally liked the original just because he says he's used to it. If you're looking for a desk toy or fidget toy that you can take with you, if you have smaller hands or it's for a child, the ONO Jr. might be what you're looking for.